been practicing with the bow for a while. We're just going to do a really fast, quick, effective workout that's going to give you a lot more strength, speed, power, balance, coordination, maybe a few new techniques. But start with this warm-up. When you're learning martial arts weapons at home or martial arts training at home, always do a proper warm-up. The warm-up keeps you safe from injury, gets the blood flowing, stabilizes the joints, activates the muscles. So this is just a warm-up spin going side to side. I'm using one hand first. I'm going to do this for about 30 seconds. And then from here, I'm going to put it into the other hand and just do the same thing, other side, going side to side. Hello, fistful of podcasts. Good to see you here. Going side to side. Who else is here so far in this live martial arts lesson at home? So I know a bunch of you guys join me when I'm able to do this, and I really appreciate you being here. Today we're doing bow, or the bow staff. Hello, Peter. Peter is in Germany. Peter says hello. Side to side. Now we're going to go from hand to hand, pushing side to side, increasing the flexibility in the wrist by increasing the amount of turn that's happening because of the momentum of the staff. So we have Awkward the Cat. Hello, Awkward the Cat. Who else is here? Going side to side. The pollen here has been really bad, so my allergies have been kind of crazy. Been really inflamed, and I think it turned into a little bit of either a cold or something. I think you can probably hear my voice is a little bit different. But I want to train anyway. I believe in training no matter what. I was driving to work this morning and taking my kids to school, and my young son said to me, "Dad, if you're not feeling well, why don't you go home and sit on the couch? Take the day off." I had a big camp all day, or all week this week. I had more work to get done, and I said, I'm going to feel bad either way. I might as well work. And that's how I feel. If you're going to feel lousy anyway, you might as well do something. It's not going to hurt you. In fact, I think it helps you heal a lot faster. So you're just going side to side. That's building the strength, the balance, coordination in your hands. And now I want you to go over the top into this butterfly spin. Yeah, Advance the Cat says pollen has been awful. It's been pretty intense this year. Just going over, although we've been saying that for years, right? This year it's intense, last year it's intense. I'm going to drop the camera just a little bit because I'm lifting my hands up too high. I think it's a camera angle too. I have to get a new camera rig. I keep breaking these. Sand Dude says, hello, how's it there? Please share some story. Oh, I bet I will. I get moving the hands, and then my lips start moving sometimes too. So I'm just coming over the top. This is a butterfly spin. If you look at what my hands are doing here, the thumbs come together around the staff. And on this bow, on this martial arts lesson at home, I'm using this bow, also known as a bow staff or long martial arts staff. Koreans call it a jangbong. Chinese have several different names, gun, bong, depending on what style and the length and how it's made. But I put the tape here so you can see the two different sides. That's the only reason for the tape. This is just a rattan staff, and these staffs are super flexible. It's a great way to start. If you're looking for one, I put the link below in the martial arts staff store. So from here, your wrists come together, the backs or the tops of the wrists, however you want to think about it, the back of the side, not the palm side. And you're turning the bottom hand all the way out. In this case, this is my left hand, which is on the bottom. Doesn't matter which one you start with. But you're going to turn it all the way out, pull the top hand out of the way, back toward you so that it can get around, and then turn this here. I often spend a lot of time showing you. Hello from Sweden says Magnus. Magnus, good to see you. Pull this one in. Pull that hand in. I often show this butterfly spin in more detail, a little bit more than the other ones, because it's been my experience that you struggle with this one a little bit more at the beginning. Once you get it, you've got it, and you're good. Now from here, just turn it back the other way. Now my right hand is on top, which means the left hand is still there. Wrists are still together, that outside of my top wrist and the inside, my bottom wrist. I'm going to turn it down. And when you turn it down, you now have to pull that hand out of the way. This is an important point. A lot of times when you're struggling, it's because you're hitting your own hand and it doesn't feel right and it falls. Pull it out of the way, turn it down to catch it. See how my thumb and pinky are together? And then I'm going to turn, so I have to pull the top hand out of the way. And then right when I get here, I'm going to open the top hand and allow the thumbs to kind of come together as I slide. Show you from there. The hands in there. Show you from this side. See, that's the butterfly right there, the wings. Just coming over and around. And slow is smooth, smooth is fast is really important when it comes to these more challenging techniques at the beginning. Really slow it down. Watch your own hands. I mean, actually look at them, right? So look at them. Try to understand what you're seeing. And give yourself some grace. Allow yourself not to be good at it at first. You'll get good at it when you don't quit. But if your ego gets in the way and you get mad because you don't get it right away, then you'll never get it. So get your ego out of the way. Get really good at it slowly, and then gradually you'll speed it up, and it'll become easier and better. And then you're going to drop it over and over. You'll always drop it. You're never going to not drop it. Now, the next one I want you to practice, put it in one hand. Doesn't matter which one. I'm going to start with my right, and I'm going to lead with my right thumb and carve a sideways figure 8 sign or an infinity sign. And so this is where you'll see my hands in the middle. The orange side, this is something you can do. You can put tape there and just think about the orange side. 2 colors. It doesn't have to be orange and purple. I just like those colors. Orange because it excites your physical energy. Purple because it's the color of brilliance. So this orange is going to come in, and I'm going to pull it back. It's also the color of royalty. Side to side. Maybe in my previous life, I was the king of the bow. That's saying a lot. I'm not saying I was the king of the bow. I'm just joking. I'm not that arrogant. You're using this orange side. Maybe I am, but I'm not. I'm just kidding. Going side to side. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Start slowly, gradually start to pick it up. Pull your stomach up and in, abs tight, drop your chin, breathe through the nose, get the other hand up so you don't smack yourself in the head. And then, before you're done with the right hand, or whichever hand you start with, put it just to the side of your body and do that same exact motion coming to the front and the back of your body. So this is the same exact spin as this. I have my right foot forward, making my body a smaller target. I bring my feet up under my body. It's my left foot just in line with the right. And now I'm going to go to the front and the back of the body. From the side, it would look like this. This is the first one. This is the second one. And so now, by doing it in this different plane, you're firing the muscles in the front and the back of the shoulder, and you're getting stronger, more powerful shoulders, which is why I picked this weapon to do at this time today. As I feel a little under the weather, I also feel tightness in my shoulders, and I thought, what better way than to get these going, than to, get the tightness out, than to use the staff. So I'm going to put it in the other hand now. I'm going to lead with the purple side. So my left hand, my left thumb is going to carve that forward figure 8, coming to the front and the back of the body, or to the right side and to the left side. And again, just go like this, push it down. Just think about the tip of your thumb, just that part. Pushing sideways, really slowly first, get a feel for it. And then switch, gradually increase it. And if you put that tape on there, only think about one side. If you think about what this is, this could be, if I cut it in the middle, that could be a sword, right? That could be any kind of sword. And then you would just be doing a figure 8 motion with your sword or nunchucks or kali eskrima sticks. It's the same thing. You're just holding the middle of the staff. So you're going to go front and back, side to side. Ella says, greetings from Germany, wearing a ring. Yes, I went to wearing the silicone ring because the metal ring, I was doing kettlebells a few weeks ago, and it dug in. I was doing really heavy kettlebells. And I felt like if I went heavier, it was going to pull my finger off. And I know that that's a thing that a lot of athletes and military, when I was in the military, a lot of people wore silicone rings and not metal because they didn't want to lose their finger. And I saw recently where a professional boxer took his glove off after the fight, and his finger stayed in the glove, and the ring had cut his finger off. So it's just cautious, right? I've had silicone rings in the past, but they break after a while. So I just bought a whole pack, bought like a 10-pack. Notice how long they last. I didn't see the second part of your question, Ella. If you want to ask me again, I just saw the first part about wearing a ring. Just going side to side, other hand up. I also train with a watch on. At the beginning, I recommend not doing it. I have a military-style Sunto watch that you can dive with, you can jump out of a plane with. It's got GPS, it's got all that stuff on it. But I wear it every day, and tracks my fitness too. But I wear it because I believe in training in what you're gonna fight in. If I'm wearing this out, I'm gonna wear it. I like to wear a certain kind of shoe or boot. I'll wear those a lot of time in training just to get comfortable with them. I'll wear my nice clothes and do some workouts with a belt on and a button-up shirt and a jacket, and then get used to doing that for self-defense. I like to train in what I might have to defend my family in. Okay, yeah, I'll share the link. You guys will love this watch. It's one of the best watches I've ever had. This is the second one that I've had because I just wore the other one to death, and yeah, I'll put the link in there, Sandude, on where you can buy the watch. All right. So I'll go back and I'll put it in this one when we're done. So we've done this figure eight to the front, to the side. I want to go above the head, and I want to start to get above the head and behind the back, because I think these are two skills that not only stretch out your shoulder. I'm going to change the camera angle because I don't have the platform today, but it stretches out your shoulders in a really nice way, and you're going to start to strengthen the back of the shoulder especially. And a lot of people have really weak shoulders. They might have strong ones in the front because they do a lot of pushing motions like push-ups or exercises. But overhead and to the side, most people are very weak if they're not an athlete, if they're not doing stuff with their shoulders. Excuse me. So I'm going to go overhead, and I'm just going to turn. I saw Ella say, Danke, Peter. I think she said hello, but viele Gruß. I was practicing my German this morning. I do Spanish every morning. Since I didn't sleep well last night because of the drainage and stuff, I was up at 4, and I got an extra hour. So I did Spanish, French, and German on my little Duolingo app. I'd rather do that than watch, look at CNN or Fox News or read stories like that. Who cares, right? Do something that I can control. All right, I put in the other one. I can always get better. Mute being. The funny thing is the different pronunciations of French, the different accents, French, Spanish, and German. Sometimes I do a Spanish bien instead of bin. Anyway, so I'm going over the head, right? Just that warm-up turn. And I want to get that arm straight. Anytime you're hitting your head, your elbow is likely bent. This is a question I get all the time. You ask me, why am I hitting myself in the head? Not me, but why are you hitting yourself in the head? And it's, Sandude says, EDC fashion, make video things, carry every day. Everyday carry, EDC. Absolutely, I agree. That's a great suggestion. I'll do an everyday carry. I'll show you guys what I carry. I'll show you what I carry in my car, which is really important because I always have things that can help me get out of trouble, help somebody else get out of trouble, like jump a car, battery starter, both jumper cables and a backup energy source. I have towing cables. I've got all those safety things, but then I also have a really robust first aid kit in case I'm the first responder. I believe you should be the first responder in your life. If you have to wait 5-6 minutes and you've got some loved one who's in dire need and you're sitting there just freaking out, it'd be better to have something to try to do something about it, right? Now from here, you're gonna go side to side. So I believe whether it's your safety and security, you're a first responder, and just don't, just stop waiting. And that's why I practice Spanish. Down here, a lot of people speak Spanish, but I keep running into a lot of people who speak French. So I'm thinking, well, maybe I should practice some French. German was the one I studied for 4 years in high school. Went to Germany, and I was very comfortable in German, so I don't want to lose that. So it's one of those things where, you can waste your time consuming social media, watching somebody else live their life, or you can improve your own. Bring it out to the side, you're going to bring it down, and in the back, you're going to turn your thumb up. I've got to change this camera again. I need somebody here in town who can work with me. So if you're in South Florida, you want to trade some time for some instruction, I'm looking for a camera person who I can teach. They call them a predator. A predator is somebody who can produce, edit, and direct, I think, or run the cameras or whatever. That's this idea of a multi, and then I'll teach you how to do your own YouTube channel. As much as I know, right? Which is a little bit more than most, but I'm no Mr. Beast or any of those other guys. I do follow the same teachers and do know the same people, though. I'm doing a lot of the same things. I'm not going to compromise certain things. All right, Peter's telling us what he carries in his car. His motorbike is smart. I love you guys. I love when you have these conversations with each other in the chat. I also like it when you put it in the comment section so that we can start to learn how to grow as a community. Now, when you bring it behind your back, your arm just turns down and turns up. So it's over your head, the arm is straight, and then it turns here. Now this is important because, like I said before, you're hitting yourself in the head. Sometimes you're hitting yourself in the legs. Hindu says a monkey fist is good to carry too. I've got some monkey fists coming, yawaras or palm sticks, also known as the kubaton. I'm going to show you guys how. Oh, and I got a new link for a fighting umbrella. But I'm not going to show you the fighting umbrella until I test it because I'm not sure about the quality. The reviews are kind of hit or miss. So I have to get one, and the company's sending me one to look at, maybe make a video with. But it's a great idea. If you like the self-defense cane, but maybe you like the idea of it, but you don't want to carry a cane because you're just not ready to or need to, you can do a lot of the same things with an umbrella or a walking stick. So I have some new things coming that I want to show you. I want to work with you on. I've also been doing a lot of weapons retention classes and training with law enforcement and security over the years. I'm starting to work a little bit with executive protection professionals. I love that field because they're with the super rich and famous and all that stuff. And I don't know why. It shouldn't impress me, but it does. But and I think it's because those guys who do that are professionals, high-level professionals. I think that's what it is. It's not about the fact that they have celebrity clients, but they're professionals. So I want to show you guys some of that stuff too. All right, so over the head, behind the back, go one way for a while, and then switch it back the other way for a while, and then bring it to the front for a wrist roll. And again, here's where we're going to use the tape. I usually put the tape on the center. It's not a perfect center. You can see I can get it to balance, but this isn't perfectly balanced, and you don't really need one to start. I don't think you need a perfectly balanced staff at all, unless you want to go to high-level competitions or whatever. Then there is a benefit to that. So from here, you're going to open your hand, and all this spinning, by the way, is not for self-defense. This is all to build timing, distance, speed, balance, power of your grip, understanding of spatial awareness, but also proprioception. And that's the true benefit. It's fun, it's unique, it gets your heart rate up, it's a good workout. So when you want to learn martial arts at home, martial arts lesson at home, start with this staff. The long bow is one of the best ones that you can do. All right, so Nasser asked me to make some more advanced spins with the bow. And the answer is yes, I will do that. But when I've done that, there are a couple on here you can find on my channel. No one watches them. And I'm not saying that I won't do it. I will do it, Nasser. I'll do it for you, and I'll do it for everybody else who wants to kind of level up. But every advanced spin is a version of a basic spin. And so if you can, my sense is, my experience in person is that people try to skip the basics. And they want to go to, well, Peter says you can't have a monkey fist in Germany. All right, bring it the other way, and then bring it back. Greg says he found me when he saw cane techniques for seniors. You're welcome. I did cane a couple days ago. I'm getting ready to do a cane again. I love the cane. Cane has unlimited options for self-defense. Going side to side. And the nice thing about spinning the cane, or spinning the bow, if you're into the cane, and cane is your main self-defense tool, using the bow like this is going to build wicked strength and power in your grip. It's going to give you proprioception. You're going to have a feeling for where your cane is. Everything is going to be made so much better. When you train martial arts at home, if you start with a basic weapon like this, it's just a big stick, right? The nice thing about a stick for self-defense is I have distance between me. Let's say that's the threat. This is a 6-foot bow. That means he's 6 foot away. If he's got a knife, I want to hit him here, right? I want to hit him here. I want to smack him here, thrust through his face from this distance. I can change hand positions and be in that other hand very quickly. You can hit him here. You can hit him here. You can bring it back here. You can thrust. So you have a lot of advantages with a bow. And if you learn how to fight with a stick, all sticks are the same. They're just a long piece, wood, metal, no matter what it's made out of. Peter, we're in the same boat. Peter says his wife won't let him carry the cane because she doesn't want to walk with her grandfather to dinner. No date nights with your grandpa. Ella asked, they put weights in the tip of the bow. No, and it's, if you're going to do it, it's going to change the way it spins. So if you want to add weights closer to your hand, and you're going to get much better value and benefit. And if you were to do that, and you wanted to play around with it, because I've done this, move the weights out. Start to go farther and farther and farther from the center, but start very close. Start with them about where I put the tape here. So add your weight there. Work on your spins and all the different techniques that you want to learn. And back to the question of the request for more advanced techniques and advanced spins. We'll go around the neck. We'll go under the shoulder and around the back. I won't hit myself with it, but I'll show you how to do all those things. But try to work on, before we get to that point, work on, I call bow flow or flow arts, or use a, same dude says, carry a lucky pocket stone in a pouch of fabric, long. Yeah, just like David and Goliath, right? That's what that stone is for. Self-defense. I think probably the very first weapon of self-defense, other than the hands and the fists and the feet and the teeth of the Neanderthal or first person or whatever, was probably stick, stone, and then it came club. Stick, stone, club. The club was when they either figured out how to put the stone on the end, bam, or when they found that piece of wood and they carved a handle and they had a big knot on the end, or something like that, right? They ripped off a tree branch and it came off with a big chunk of it. And that club, now they had a club, and then it became a war hammer or an axe. And I think it just evolved from there. But so that's why learning how to fight with sticks, whether it's short stick, long stick, medium-sized stick, stick with a hook on the end, stick that is collapsible, stick that's flexible, stick that's rigid. I mean, a shillelagh, the Irish fighting stick, they're all such great opportunities. Yeah, coins in a sock. Put a lock in a sock. I learned about that in the Marine Corps in boot camp. That's a whole different story. I won't get into that one. And soap, and a bar of soap in a sock. Does a lot of damage, but doesn't leave any evidence. They made a whole movie about it called A Few Good Men. Don't watch the movie. It's got that Demi Moore in it. She hates the military. I hate it when people who hate the military make movies. I don't want to watch it. Anyway, let me get off my soapbox. Back to advanced spinning techniques. So I'm going to show you the wrist roll. We'll go over that in a second. But I want to say start to practice your bow staff flow. And flow is when you start to weave together different techniques, and you start to move the staff around your body, and you start to move forward and backward. And sometimes you don't know what you're going to do. I must whack myself there. But that's how you learn, right? That's what you want to do when you're outside. Turn it and throw it up and catch it and then drop it over and over again. And if you really want to level up to a new level, that's the way to grow. Not just learning new technique after new technique, because if you can't weave them together, none of them are going to matter. You're going to be able to do one technique really well, and then another technique really well, and another technique really well. But what's most impressive is when you can go for a jog down the street, running, and turning, and changing directions, and moving the staff through, whatever hand, and then changing it back and going into a different direction, and then working in some strikes and blocks, and then back into spins, and one-handed spins, and two-handed bow spins. When you train martial arts at home, and you have a martial arts lesson at home, that's what's more fun. That's what makes you grow. We're going to go over that. So back to the wrist roll. And I know most of you guys can do this already, but really slow this down and see how slow. It's like challenge yourself. The way to grow, increase the time that you do something, increase the intensity of whatever you're doing, or increase the complexity, right? So you can hear the allergy medicine kicking in. Complexity, time, or intensity. Complexity, time, intensity. Hello, T. I was just thinking about you today. How's everything going with you? I was hoping you're doing well, nice and healthy and strong. And there you are. It's good to see you. T says hello, everybody. Open the hand, bring it around. And by the way, if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Share these videos. You guys are a big part of this. You are a big part of this community, all of you. And you make this possible, this online virtual dojo. That's what I've been calling it anyway. And I enjoy this. I had 19 young men here all week this week, 4 hours a day. Boy, do we get some good workouts. And I love it. I love doing that. I love holding them accountable and helping them grow and learning how to be men and speak up for themselves and ask the right questions. David, it's nice to see you too. David says, pleased to see you. David, it's nice to see you. But I like doing this too. This really feeds my soul, having this virtual dojo. We've got people here from Germany. Sandu, where are you from? Sandu, I joined the military. I went in the Marine Corps as a young man full of angst, frustration for life. There's a lot of young men that age do. And I wanted to do the toughest that I could find. And I had some family history of the Marine Corps. And it was good. It was good but it's external discipline. Oh, from India. Good. Welcome from India. So the military can give you good external discipline, right? That means they're going to make you do it whether you want to or not. And as long as you're on duty, sir, yes, sir, and you're going to do it. But I also wanted internal discipline. It wasn't until I got to a Special Forces training group, not the Special Forces, I didn't go all the way through, but when I got to the training team, Special Forces training team, their motto was big boy and big girl rules. And if you don't want to be here, leave. And they're not going to make you do it. And a lot of Marines would come in and try out for that, and they would fail because there was no one there to beat them. Just beat them, right? And that in the Marine Corps, they just beat you. You're going to do it, or they're going to beat you. You better do it. Oh, thank you, Naj. Naj, thanks. I learned a lot from you guys, too. Naj just made a donation to the channel. I really appreciate that. But the reason that I did this for so long, I keep coming back to martial arts, is because it's the only thing that created an internal discipline. An internal discipline. What's the difference between internal and external? And I'll give it to you the way I gave it to the kids today. Stand up, quit moving, stop talking while I'm talking, stand still. And I can get really loud and insistent and persistent. And they respond to me very well, meaning that they do it like that. And then I say, that's an example of discipline. He did it, right? He was messing around and now he stopped. He did it. He's got good discipline. And then I said to the same guy, Look how he's looking at me. He's standing still. He's thinking about what I'm saying. If you keep doing that, young man, you'll be a black belt before you know it. You want to train martial arts? Act like that. That's the right attitude. And I said, that's internal discipline. That's self-discipline. Oh, thank you, David. Oh, in Ohio. David, it's good to see you. I had a lesson with Bo this morning. We didn't use the Bo staff, but I had a lesson with Bo in Dayton. He's 74, I think. Sorry, Bo, if I just aged you. 73 or 74. David, where are you in Ohio? So we went over one side, but that's the difference. So if you want to join you asked me, how do you make the decision to join the military? It really is it love of country? I think that's part of it. I have a deep love for my country and the freedom, and I've been around the world, not everywhere. I was going to go to India right before the shutdown, but I've been around the world and I've seen a lot, and I've met a lot of people, and I have a deep, deep appreciation for the freedoms that we have here that are very unique and special. We also have a lot of flaws like everybody else does. However, when I got in the Marine Corps, I stayed in for as long as I did because I wasn't ready to get out yet. I hadn't grown enough. I could have been stronger. I could have been faster. And then after a while, I went in the National Guard, in the Army National Guard after 9/11, kind of a knee-jerk reaction, because I wanted to be with my brothers and my sisters in the military. I wanted because especially in the United States, very few people ever serve in the military. And I always think I want somebody who knows me. If I go and I die, or I don't be able to come back, then I want somebody to be able to say, oh, I like that guy, and he went in the military to fight for our country, and so we have to be more mindful and aware of the sacrifices of the military, because at the time, especially, it wasn't that popular. But then somehow this big turnaround became. Thank you, Magnus, for becoming a member in Sweden. I love strong men. I always think of Magnus von Magnusson. All the Swedish strongmen, some big dudes. Big fan of the Swedish powerlifters. Oh, Columbus, Finston College. I love fencing. Threw javelin. Yeah, for sure. David, you could throw the javelin. You and Jesse Owens. Go down to Jesse Owens Field. Put on your spiked shoes. Get your little singlet out. Love it. If you young guys don't know who Jesse Owens is, look him up. Jesse Owens was a great runner. Stood up to truth. Spoke truth. Then in his later days, he was down in the Bahamas and he raced horses in the mud. But if you go to Ohio State, you'll see. I grew up in Columbus, David. And I went to Ohio State for a little bit. A little bit about it. Yeah, Sandhu's warning me about the scams in India. I get it. Another place that I love to go to is Tanzania. And man, talk about the scammers coming out of Tanzania. And that's just, I understand. If you don't have a strong rule of law and you allow people to, you allow so much disparity, you're going to have people, criminal types, people trying to feed their families. I get it. So I'm not going to hate on anybody because of what they do, but I will protect myself. I appreciate your warning. All right, so let's go to finger rolls because I want you to strengthen your hands, especially if you're getting older and you've ever had trigger finger, or if, David's messenger says went to Ohio State. Nice to meet a fellow Buckeye. You get on the airplane from Ohio or going back to Ohio. What do they do, right? The stewardess, flight attendant comes on, or maybe the captain himself or herself says, OH, IO, and then everybody, IO. I haven't been in a plane since COVID, so I don't know if they're still doing that. Oh, Romania. Sipi, when I was in Scotland at my mentor's castle during a seminar, there were some Roma from Romania. Yeah, Naj says, welcome to the virtual family. Naj, you're in India, right? So we're coming around. You're just using your fingers. Now you can do all your fingers. See how I'm doing this? Or when you get to the last two fingers, you can pull your thumb back and then bring it around with the thumb. Oh, and thank you for the donation. Ella, I was busy talking about OHIO, and I want to say thank you for that very much. I really appreciate that. That helps a lot to keep the lights on, pay the bills. And I want to move the school. I want to move it up the road a little bit. There's a town called Juno Beach. Beautiful, real small town, but I'd like to be right there. It's kind of like in the middle of everything. They just had a golf tournament there, the Walker Cup at Seminole. That's where Tiger Woods lives. I have no interest in Tiger Woods. Although I've seen he's using a cane, and I thought, Tiger Woods, we have a congressman here who keeps getting fined for not wearing a mask called Mast. His name is M-A-S-T. He lost both of his legs in, I think, Afghanistan or Iraq. And he uses a cane. He's a congressman. And he's just up the street, too. He's in North Palm Beach, which is just south of Juno Beach. Hold on, I just cracked the camera again. I've got to get a new rig. I think maybe with your donations today, I'll splurge a little bit and go on Amazon and get myself a rig. So I am in Florida, Sand Dude, and Pennsylvania's up right next to Ohio, so you're up near David. Oh, that's right, Naj is in South Florida. Naj, did we figure out how close we are? Are you up in Stewart? I know somebody's in Stewart. T, who was on here a little bit earlier, I don't know if T's still here. T's in Palm Beach Gardens, like I could throw a rock and hit him. If I knew where he was, T, if you're on here, next time I see you, I'm going to throw a rock at you. Not really. Oh, Miami, yeah. Man, I love Miami. Biscayne Bay, beautiful down there. So many people in Miami, though. And that's not a bad thing. I like that kind of energy. I love South Beach, too. South Beach is crazy. Crazy in Miami. But Miami's coming up this way. We're just a little bit north of Miami. Romanians or Latins? Yes. Bringing it around. So that's one hand to the other hand. Then you weave these together. You go back to your figure eight. And on the figure eight, going side to side. Hello from Croatia. It's good to see you. Another beautiful part of the world. How close is Croatia and Romania? I have to admit, I haven't studied a map of Eastern Europe in a while. Since I was supposed to go to, where were we going? Maybe it was Croatia. Going around one side, around the other side. It was after the Dayton Peace Accords. All those atrocities. And there was a peacekeeping mission. I had a big staff, and somebody else wanted my spot, so I gladly gave it up. Reluctantly, I gave it up. And I said, go ahead, take my spot. It wasn't Kosovo, it was one of the other ones. Not Serbia. Anyway, so we're going side to side. We're going to come, okay. So CP says they're almost in vicinity, almost next door. I'm assuming Romania and Croatia. Croatia, Czechoslovakia, well, we used to call it Czechoslovakia, now I think it's the Czech and Slovak Republic or something. All beautiful parts. Strong, proud people who were oppressed horribly by the Soviets for a long time, but are now getting their culture back, fighting back against tyranny. I was thinking today, between the Tibetans and the Uyghurs, I won't say too much because I don't want big YouTube to come and say, hey, don't talk bad about our buddy China. I'm not talking about the Chinese, I'm talking about the Chinese Communist Party. It's funny, people say free Tibet and they don't even realize they mean free Tibet from China, right? Because who else is occupying them? All right, so we're coming from here. Yugoslavia, that's what I was thinking of. Yes. So you're gonna weave together a finger roll and a wrist roll. So you'll weave, finger roll, wrist roll. And what this does is this breaks up kind of the speed. So this is a single speed, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then 1 and 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. So that's the purpose of doing these different kinds of wrist rolls, finger rolls. And then I want you to learn how to do a palm roll. I'm going to bring the camera back up one more time. I really appreciate, again, all the donations, the new members, and just you being here and watching. I have a giveaway every month. Last month I gave away a rattan fighting cane. The month before it was a 2-piece bow staff. This month is a self-defense keychain, a Yawara or a Kubotan. And all you have to do is either join here as a member or Patreon, because I got a bunch of people on Patreon, or, yeah, David, this is definitely intermediate. Open your hand, but really it's not that hard. It's just, if you've ever fed a sugar cube or a carrot to a horse, right, or a donkey, you have to open your hand like this, or a cow, so they don't bite your fingers off. They don't do it on purpose. They just take whatever they can. So, yeah, Ceausescu and Tito, I haven't seen those names in a while. When I was younger, I loved international politics. Always fascinated by communism, especially. Like, how in the world did they get to that? And now I get it. I see it. Especially see it now. You know, it's just, it's drip, drip, drip. And I think what happens is you have a lot of turmoil, you have a lot of inequality, you allow people in power to get away with the wrong things because of greed, and then one side takes advantage or the other side does. See, I'm hitting my head, getting in over my head. That's what that means. When I'm talking too much. But I think, you know, it's this one side of a two-sided coin, right? You got one side, you get the point. Anytime you have inequality, anytime you stop taking responsibility for yourself, if you're the farmer and you say, I'm going to do whatever it takes to make my crop grow, and sometimes we're going to have a drought, sometimes we're going to have whatever, so I'm going to have to save some grain. Sometimes the bad guys are going to steal it. Sometimes the rats are going to eat it, but I'm going to do whatever. And then you take responsibility for everything, then I don't think you get dictators, I don't think you get, but what do I know, right? Sometimes it's completely out of your control. And I think maybe sometimes God just gives us challenges for us to grow, make it to a new level. Stop asking for everything to be easy. Ask for more strength, more insight. So all that is, and I'm trying to figure out how to show you the camera without hitting myself in the head. But it's, as you turn your hand one direction or the other direction, simply open your hand and make it palm. Yeah. Make it the palm open. Easy solutions. Sandude, I'm not gonna get into politics, but I'm gonna say that I think that he is beyond senile, and I just totally, and I do get it. I'm not gonna say I don't get it. We're in a civil war of sorts right now for the soul of America. But again, it's the other side of a two-sided coin. We're not, one side's not better than the other. We're pawns. We, the people, are pawns in the middle, and they're playing their games. And it's easy to get caught up in, you said this, and she's that, and he's this, and he's over there, and you did what? And instead of saying, how am I spending my money? How much time am I spending with my family? Am I eating the healthy foods? We're talking about COVID, which is over 99% survivable. But look at what we've done to ourselves and how we've jumped in both feet to fear and changed everything. And at the same time, in America, we're reaching 70% obesity rates. 70% obesity. So stop eating so much red meat, right? Don't put another potato chip in your mouth. That's the easy stuff. It's not easy, but that's the more impactful things, because more people are going to die from being fat. More people are going to die from having high cholesterol. More people are going to die from high blood pressure. More people are going to die from lifestyle diseases that they could control that don't require wearing a mask. But we're all going to get mad and want to fight each other over the mask, and we're just like puppets, marionettes. We're marionettes dancing, and the people at the top are just playing with the strings. That's what I feel, right? And so I'm saying I turn it off, and instead I want to learn how to speak Spanish, French, Korean, Japanese. I do as much as I can so that I can interact with people and have a meaningful quality of life. I want to learn how to be so many things that I'm not. A better husband, a better father, a better man, a better business person, a better YouTuber. I want to learn how to do all those things better and stop reading the news, stop reading. I don't care if Biden is this or that. I don't think he's in power anyway. I didn't think Trump was in power. I don't think Obama was in power. I think it's controlled by, and I don't think it's like some sinister plot to take over the world with communism. I think it's greed. I think it's pure greed. I think there are some businesses out there that have sold their souls and our souls, but that doesn't matter because I can't control that. What can I control? If I see somebody struggling. I was at the gas station before I came here, and a woman, and it was the silliest thing. She had really long fake nails on like this, and she was so frustrated. She's digging around in her car trying to find something to pull it out because she couldn't reach in and grab it. And I came over and I said, "Can I help you?" And she said, "Oh, thank you. I can't get my card out of the thing." And she kind of laughed at herself, my nails. And I said, "There you go." And if I had been all PO'd about Biden, who knows what, then I would have missed the chance. Excuse me. Missed the chance to be helpful to another human being who I don't know whether she likes Biden or not. Doesn't matter. Doesn't care, right? I don't care. She had a need. I had the ability to help. There's my connection. That's the life I want to live. And yes, we have to pay attention to certain things, but all these things are so far out of control that you're going to get blindsided by what's really coming right now. This digital transformation that's sweeping the world is happening so fast, and it's going to disrupt so many industries and so many jobs are gone. Why aren't you learning a new skill? Why aren't you leaning out? Why aren't you learning how to defend yourself and be your own first responder? That's why I teach martial arts lessons at home. Martial arts lessons at home, especially with the bow and the cane, is so that you can start to prepare to defend yourself physically, but more importantly, mentally and spiritually from what's coming. Because I think a tsunami is coming, tsunami of change. And there's going to be some good and there's going to be some bad. And the world's not going to end. And we're not going to be enslaved by aliens, UFOs. They might be out there, but when they come down, if that's the new reality, what are you going to do about your reality? That's all I want to work on. All right, you guys have been so awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you for all of your, thank you, David. Thanks for spending with me. Thank you guys for training with me. This has been Martial Arts at Home bow training, bow staff training. I'll see you guys in just a little bit.